Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Geoffrey Giuliano about Squid Game, which is now available on Netflix. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure, man.
And, it's exciting. Squid Game drops on Netflix. Number one show all over the globe, and you play one of the VIPs, VIP 4. I mean, what's this been like for you the last couple of weeks? It's probably been crazy.
This is my 28th movie and my 40th year as an actor. I started when I was a kid, and this has been unreal. It's some sort of Beatlemania thing. I guess I'm number 15 in the cast, principal cast. I have the biggest part of any non-Korean in there. And it's a crazy part. I mean, it's a completely crazy part, taking off my clothes and stuff. So it's what you think it is. In fact, one of the things is, as an actor, you have to make yourself available to get a gig.
Yep.
So I have all my phone numbers and everything on my website, geoffreygiuliano.com. Well, that's from before when the phone, but now like the whole world is calling, knocking, all the information's out there. So people are just contacting me, ding, 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 ding all night on my telephone. So it's a trip. I'm enjoying it. I signed up to do Cameo today. Now I'm available to talk to people. If you have any questions about Squid Game, I can answer them. I was there for the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, but it's funny because sometimes you never know how a project's gonna do with an audience. This one just
You don't know at all.
Yeah, you don't know. Did you have a little bit of an idea, or not at all? Right?
Yeah. They paid me way more money than any movie I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first inkling. See, this all came from the fact that I was in another Netflix movie, which people can watch, called Peninsula Train to Busan. And the director saw me in that, and they contacted me and flew me over. So twice I've been flown over. I live in Bangkok. Twice I've been flown over to Korea. And what I thought was, wow, this is a great paycheck. This will further kind of build the brand in Korea. They'll continue to call me for things, which of course they will. And I thought that would be pretty much it. It would be another kind of Peninsula. Hey, great job, pretty popular movie, and we'd move on to the next one.
Yep, absolutely. And it was the next one, Squid Game. I mean, an unbelievable show all around. I did want, we're talking about Squid Game, but you have a lot of projects always on the go. Did you always know that, you're talking about your acting a lot now, but I'm just curious.
5 years old. 5 years old, I knew I was going to be an actor.
Yeah, exactly. But you do other stuff as well. You've written as well. Did you know you were going to wear many hats, or did it kind of just happen?
No, what I tell young people especially is, if you want to be successful, here's my formula, how I did it.
Yeah.
You pick up as many darts as you can hold and fling them in the general direction of the board. Something will stick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a writer. I've written 32 books, a lot of books in the Beatles. I'm a designer. I'm involved with devotional yoga, but primarily now at this stage of my life, I'm a character actor, and I just go from film to film.
Absolutely. What is you said it's been a trip, specifically, seeing the reactions on social media, VIP number 4. Big scene, obviously, for you with everything.
I took off my clothes.
What's the reaction been like from social media, specifically with that scene with your character as well?
Well, look, and actors understand, if you're a real actor, you won't have a problem cutting your hair, no matter how much you like it long. And you won't really have a problem if it is germane to the script, taking off your clothes. Now, they wanted to do full frontal nudity. And I said no to that. And they said, well, what do you mean? The director wants it. And I said, well, look, I can't do that. I can't do that. Let's come up with a compromise. So after quite a bit of negotiation, spirited negotiation, because they didn't really want to do it, they agreed to the robe and to the just showing my ass. But then they snuck around to the side. However, I've been on a diet I'm gonna lose. You know, the whole world has seen me naked now, so I'm gonna go on a diet.
But it's
to lose
also,
that.
Jeffrey,
I'm on a diet.
the facial expression as well, like in that scene. Like,
Well, you know what that guy loves. The director loves Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
If that's a direct kind of homage to Clockwork Orange.
yes.
You know, there's that close up where he's got his eyes like this, and they had me in the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, and I'll tell you another thing about that. On that particular film, which is unusual, I know that it exists. I've never done it too much. There wasn't any latitude for the actor to input anything more than that was in the script. For instance, they'd say, move your finger like 2 millimeters, you know?
Yeah.
When I was calling the guy over like this, he
Yep.
said, no, closer to your face, you know, and bend your finger more. You know, it was like complete minute control of everything that you did. And everything was very tightly storyboarded as well. For those who don't know what that means, it means it's like a little comic book with each little square. And basically you're replicating what's already there. There was no deviation from the script, no deviation from the storyboard. So what you see was what the director wanted and what was in his script.
Absolutely. You said, you know, you're here for Squid Game questions. A lot of people obviously have a lot of questions. One question that I have specifically from a fan of the show watching it is I love, Jeffrey, the sets, what it looked like. It was so crazy. Like it was unbelievable. I just wanted to know, what was it like kind of being on sets, seeing all those game sets?
I've got something to say about those. Those I've made 28 movies, and that was the most spectacular set I've ever seen.
Yep.
So I was in that main set, you know, the set where the VIPs were. And I'll tell you, it was like half the size of a shopping mall. Mm-hmm. And there were things in that set that I've never seen. Generally, when you look up on a set, you see lights and stuff like that and cables. Here, you saw a ceiling with mirrors in it. Yep. They did all this stuff that didn't even show in the movie, but they went, it was, and then on the walls, they had this molded plastic that obviously was all handmade around the edges of that, which is called a scrim. That was all painted like a forest and everything by hand. It was unbelievable. The sets were one of the stars of the show.
Absolutely. Definitely a standout and everything. Is there some stuff about Squid Game that you can tell us that we might not know about? Was it overall, did the show take a long time to shoot? We know in terms of being made and the scripts and everything, but I'm talking about anything you could tell us about actually making it and being on set, Jeffrey?
Okay, well, the big sex scene for me was shot very quickly. Now, I didn't understand who Jun Ho was. Obviously, I'm not Korean, but he's a big star there. And to me, you know, he looked like a very young man, and I thought, well, he can't have that much experience. It turns out he's not. He's a top actor in Korea, and he deserves that because he was very good, very quick, very present. He was right there. In fact, I think I screwed up more than he did. He didn't screw up at all. And so when we did that scene, they had marked off a whole day, but we actually did the scene in 2 hours or something like that. And that's with movie, you know, people don't know how movies are shot. They shoot over the shoulder, they shoot a master shot, then they shoot a close up, then they reverse that for the other guy. And each time they do that, they have to move lights, they have to move cables, they have to do a lot of setup, which was weird because I was naked. And there were all these, you know, normally you get these guys who look like you on the set with walkie-talkies, but for some reason that day it was all like 20-year-old girls, and I was super embarrassed. And I said, could I get a blanket? And then like they got a blanket and put it around me. And then when I had to lay on the floor when I was unconscious, also I said, I need a blanket because I was just laying there literally naked. You know, that was weird. And I felt sorry for him. He was really close to me. I mean, it's what you see on the camera is what actually happened. He was just a few inches away from my front the whole time. And I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for me.
But that was in the script though, right?
And the tension that produced was good for the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's one of those things too. It's an interesting thing, right? You talk about people maybe not knowing about how TV and film are made. To me, the script is one thing. A lot of people kind of have an idea of what they're kind of getting themselves into because they've read the script before they go shoot it. But like having it on script and then actually going and shoot it can be a whole different world.
Well, no, okay, you got to understand that they didn't give me the whole script.
Okay.
Because of confidentiality and this kind of exclusivity,
Mm-hmm.
I was given my part of the script. I wasn't given the whole script for the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I didn't know what was going or who he was or what was happening. They just said, look, he plays a policeman and he's looking for his brother. And the very little they told me information, but that's an actor's job is
Yep.
If sometimes you have the luxury of rehearsal and a table read and certain things, but a lot of times you just fly by the seat of your pants and they expect you to perform. And they did. Netflix didn't cut one word of my dialogue, which usually, or a lot, they trimmed things down. Every word that I said was there and was represented.
Absolutely. You said you did a film, Pencil Train to Busan, and then you were talked about to come work on Squid Game. Is there more to that kind of? Like, was there an audition process for Squid Game after that?
Yeah. If you go to the Geoffrey Giuliano channel on YouTube, you can see my successful casting tape, which I did on the cell phone, and I think that's really instructive to anyone who wants to be an actor or who's interested in getting into the business. What is a successful casting tape? And there you can see one that was.
And there's gonna be an audiobook about your
Right.
experience on Squid Game. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Teaser was on your YouTube channel, right?
Well, yeah, the teaser's on the YouTube channel. I own an audiobook company.
Yep.
Between films, I make these. I produce audiobooks. I have a company called Icon Audiobooks, and I'm everywhere on Apple, Apple Books, and Audible, Amazon, audiobooks.com. You can just put the name in there. It's called IMVIP4. Now, it's not out yet. It'll be up online for sale in, I would say, 2 weeks.
Okay.
We're just finishing it up in the studio now. And it's a complete story of how I got involved and what happened, about all my adventures in making this film.
Yeah, absolutely.
So nobody else has done that. Nobody else will do that. So if you want to really know the inside story on Squid Game from one of the principal cast members, it's called Acting in Squid Game, IMVIP4 by Geoffrey Giuliano, and you'll be able to find it anywhere that audiobooks are sold.
And it's exciting, right? I mean, it's going to be out. Everyone's going to be able to see it. I mean, it's your experiences in this audiobook. Is it calm before the storm a little bit? Like, how are you feeling about it?
What's exciting is the fact that it's to be an actor, a professional film actor, is a very difficult road. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. Your family suffers. It's a long, long road. And quite honestly, I knew I had the ability, but I didn't know that I would even get there. Since Squid Game, I can tell you, I've signed with the top Hollywood agent. I mean, a top Hollywood agent, one of the biggest in the world. And I can't say who it is right now because we haven't signed the paper. That's an actor's superstition. But, my life and career have completely changed. And what this does, it allows me to work, which I love to do. But more importantly, it involves me to take care of my family the way I would like to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and it's funny, too, because I interview a lot of people from a lot of TV shows. And, when I was growing up watching when I was younger, Geoffrey, you see a show on TV and it gets canceled, right? You're just like, oh, okay, I guess they're not making more of it. And then when I become friends with a lot of these people, that this is what they do. This is how they put food on the table. And now when I find out that their show got canceled or they're not being renewed, it's a whole different feeling now from when I was a kid because I'm like, well, my friend's out of a job right now, basically.
Yeah, but we're well paid. Don't cry too much. Don't cry too much for actors that are working. No, there's such a small percentage of us that actually work and do well. I have a lot. Look, I was there for years. Morgan Freeman was in an interview I saw the other day where he said he didn't get a decent acting job till he was in his mid-50s. Mm-hmm. So it's a heartbreaking business, and if you don't, it's what they always say. If you don't give up and you really want it and you work hard and you know what you're doing, it's a question of opportunity meeting preparedness. And like with Squid Game. Now, I mean, it's a strange part. Success came in a way that I didn't envision. It was kind of like a car accident. I didn't see this coming, but it's here. And I have a job now to to make the most of it.
And isn't it quick too? It's quick. There's not much like time. like
No.
there's interviews and
No, I all day and basically all day and all night I'm working on promotion for Squid Game. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, biggest show on the planet. You're in it. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. And it's I'll tell you what's strange about this is people say, oh, the VIPs. Well, first of all, I don't know about the other VIPs. I know about me. And I can tell you that it is jarring to have watched 6 episodes, because I'm in episode 7, and you see all these Asian people and they're acting and talking and relating the way, and then all of a sudden you see this, hey, asshole, what the fuck are you, that loud, jarring American accent is and I say to the wig, come here, what are you doing? Come over here. It's just, I know that for people that are not anybody, I think it's quite jarring to see those two cultures and suddenly there's this American, But listen, that was a comic book caricature of an American businessman, kind of like Daddy Warbucks or Boss Hogg. It was a caricature. It wasn't like, I suppose somewhere in Montana there's businessmen that say, hey, 69, I guess, but it was a kind of it was a characterization. It was a comedic character based on a kind of fantasy of what American idiot businessmen are like. But it worked.
It did. But
when I laughed, the director really hugged me. I thought it was going to be like, he pulled me close, and I thought it was going to be like the normal, hey man, thanks a lot. But it was like this real kind of emotional hug. He got what he wanted. And, there's some people. Now, another thing I found is that some people that maybe are younger or something, they confuse me with the character. It's like, oh, Geoffrey Giuliano, he's a real bad guy. He's not a good actor. What are you talking about? I hate him. I just see what he did to that guy or whatever it is. He's a pervert. He's a whack. Hey guys, it's a character. That's not me.
I saw an interview once where someone played a really bad villain in a TV show, and they went to the supermarket, and they were recognizable, right? And this this girl came up to him and said, I don't like you at all. You are not a good person. I see you on TV. And he's like, I'm acting. Thank you. That was the point of my character.
Well, look at me. In all my 28 movies, I play the bad. I've never played a good guy. Never, ever. Not even one time. I always played the worst people in the world.
Is that a goal, maybe, to be a non-bad guy?
No. It's more fun to be bad, and people remember you. Who's not gonna hey, did you watch Squid Game? Yeah. What about that guy who took his clothes off? The fat guy, the gay guy. People are gonna never forget me.
Yeah.
And that's apparently one of the goals of being a popular actor, is to be unforgettable. So in that regard, people are definitely going to remember VIP 4.
Are you ready for the big question I want to ask you? It's funny because I have a specific question. Well, no, it might not even be the question you think I'm going to ask, which is interesting. Did you get to keep your mask?
Yes.
Okay. Was that the question you thought I was going to ask you?
No. I thought you were going to ask me about season 2. Which of course you will. Here's what I have. I have my script, my annotated script from the show, which contains the storyboards.
Wow.
For the show, which, if you don't know, tells you that's kind of a map of the movie. So I have that. I have my robe and I have my mask. Now, all of those are going up for sale for charity. Wow. And we can stay in touch, and I'll let you know where and when. But that's something, and there's apparently going to maybe be an exhibition in Las Vegas at one of the big hotels of my what I brought back from Squid Game.
Yep.
Most actors don't do that, but I kind of like to keep souvenirs from each. And I just so happened that I was able to hold on to those things. So it's the robe, the mask, and the script and storyboards, which are going up for sale. Would you like to know what they've priced them at? They've priced a starting bid on the auction of the script for $10,000.
Wow.
For the robe, $250,000, and they haven't discussed the mask yet.
I can't even imagine what the mask is probably going to be expensive.
I don't know. But I support a couple of charities. One I support in India, which is for widows and children that were basically abandoned. They all go to this certain little village near New Delhi, and it's a direct food relief program for them. Wow. So I hope people will we'll get, anyone who has an extra $250,000 can buy my robe.
And now for the question you thought I was going to ask you, I mean, obviously, I mean, if people want a season 2, nothing's confirmed or anything, but I guess they'll just have to wait and kind of.
Well, it's not confirmed with you, but I was there.
Are you allowed to disclose this information?
Yeah. I can talk. I can say certain things.
Yeah.
That I know to be true.
So.
Okay. So it is my belief.
Yeah.
That there will be a season 2. Mm-hmm. And that it will focus on the corrupt nature of policemen. And that from what I know, and all this could change, it's all to do with Netflix and the wonderful director we had, that I will be brought back. In fact, I heard a rumor, and it's just that somehow the guys, the main characters, were going to kidnap the VIPs and make them play the game while they sat and watched, turn the tables.
That's interesting.
So getting my fat ass up on those games, up on the bridge there, or whatever, is going to be fun,
Oh my God. The table's turning for sure. That is crazy. I mean, it's one of those things too, where I want you to plug all of your social media so all my viewers could keep up to date with everything happening. But it's funny because it really does become kind of a firestorm with like rumors and news and everything. Like you can't keep up, right? Like Squid Game 2, will there be Squid Game 2? Well, it just becomes like, it's one of those things where I kind of just play the waiting game until there's kind of official announcements because there's so much rumors.
Please understand that took him 12 years of his life, the director, to write and put that together. He was rejected for 10 years straight by everybody around the world. I think people know that. And in my discussions with the people involved, they tell me that if he does it, which they think it looks like he will, he's going to do it as a team effort. He'll have several directors, several writers, and they'll sit down and do it because obviously you can't wait another 10 years. Yeah. But, another thing you need to know, which isn't really said, is that Korea is pretty much at this point the new Hollywood. They've got the infrastructure, they've got everything, and the whole world is beating a path to Hollywood. And that's really that. I mean, so you're
in Thailand now, but did you live in Korea when you did it for like how long? No. They
flew me over for Peninsula for Netflix. Netflix flew me over for Peninsula. Then they flew me over for Squid Game. In June, I'm going to be when school's out. I have a teenager, my son Eden. When school's out, I'll be moving there full time. I have a house. I'll just lock the door.
Yeah, and that's interesting too. But I'm just curious about your son because the different actors have different opinions on this. Is he interested in possibly acting and kind of sharing the foot?
He did. Let's ask him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come here. He wants to ask you a question. This is my son. Get in the camera. Get in the camera.
Okay. I'm gonna bend down a little bit.
This is my son Eden. So
hey Eden, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
I'm good.
I have a question for you. Would you like to follow your father's footsteps and act one day? Have you thought about that at all?
I don't really think I would want to be an actor, but I think it's just something my dad likes. I think I'd rather pursue other things.
Whatever things are you interested in?
Probably being a therapist or a doctor. I think something like that.
Well, that's great.
And we could use that around here.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All the best. Geoffrey, this was a blast. I wanted to thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Anytime. And listen, this is an unfolding story.
Yep.
So let's, as things happen, you can always come back to me and we can do this again.
Can you plug away now? Can you plug all your stuff?
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So let's see. If you want to reach, let's see, if you want to hang out, if anyone wants to hang out, you can come find me on Instagram. And my handle there is Geoffrey Actor, GeoffreyActor, Geoffrey Actor. You can also find my videos, which are updated, almost daily at the Geoffrey Giuliano channel on YouTube. That's GeoffreyGiuliano. Now, on TikTok, you can find me at Squid Game Confidential, one word, Squid Game Confidential. Beyond that, all my work and all my contact info and everything is on geoffreygiuliano.com.
And everything you listed will be in the video description of our episode as well. So people are going to be able to see it.
I'll send it to you. And also, I've just been invited to go on Cameo, which I don't know a whole bunch about, but you probably do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to be doing Cameo as well. I'm happy to do it. That's the whole. I've been working all my life to have an opportunity like this. Oh, and I'll let you guys know about the charity sale for the various props and costumes that I got from the show.
And people are excited for the audiobook. That's exciting as well. People love Squid Game content right now, so people are gonna look up for that. So I'll make sure to put.
We're doing that today. I mean, I've got people working on it here right now. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Geoffrey Giuliano and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.